This weekend, Berkshire Hathaway made a $6.8 billion bet on the U.S. housing market. And Warren Buffett, the man who called the stock market a casino, said something about his successor that shocked everyone watching. Quote, "Greg did it faster than I could have done it. Smoother than I could have done it. And I never talked to the CEO. He has launched." High praise from the world's greatest investor. But the real story is not about Berkshire or Greg Abel. It is about what this deal tells us about the American housing market and what it means for your home value right now. First, who is Taylor Morrison and why did Berkshire want it? Taylor Morrison is the sixth largest publicly traded home builder in America, operating in more than 350 communities across 21 markets in 12 U.S. states. They serve buyers across multiple segments, from first-time buyers to luxury move-up homes to resort lifestyle communities for active adults. In 2025, Taylor Morrison posted revenue of $8.12 billion, net income of $782 million, a highly profitable company in a sector that has been struggling. Fortune named Taylor Morrison one of the world's most admired companies. CEO Sheryl Palmer has run the company since 2007. Under her leadership, Taylor Morrison expanded from a regional builder to a national powerhouse. This is not a distressed acquisition. Berkshire is not buying a failing company at a discount. It is paying a 24% premium for one of the best-run home builders in America. Now, the deal explained simply. Berkshire Hathaway agreed Sunday night to pay $72.50 per share for all outstanding Taylor Morrison stock. That represents a 24% premium over where the stock closed on Friday. Taylor Morrison shares jumped 23% Monday morning. Total deal value, $6.8 billion in cash. Including debt, approximately $8.5 billion. Berkshire is paying all cash, no stock, no financing. Cash from that $400 billion hoard. The deal is expected to close in the second half of 2026 pending regulatory and shareholder approval. This is the first major strategic acquisition since Greg Abel took over as Berkshire CEO at the start of 2026. And Buffett said Abel completed the deal faster and smoother than Buffett himself could have. That is an extraordinary statement from a man who has been making deals for 60 years. Now, what Buffett said about Greg Abel. This matters for every Berkshire investor and every person watching the transition. Buffett told CNBC, "Greg did that faster than I could have done it. Smoother than I could have done it. And I never talked to the CEO. He has launched." 3 months into his tenure as CEO, Abel has committed $6.8 billion to a sector Berkshire has been building exposure in for years. Berkshire already owns Clayton Homes, the largest manufactured home builder. It owns building product companies including Benjamin Moore Paint, Acme Brick, and Johns Manville Insulation. It owns Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, one of the largest real estate brokerage networks in America. And it holds stakes in Lennar Corporation and Envy are incorporated, two of the largest home builders in the country. The Taylor Morrison acquisition is not a new direction for Berkshire. It is the completion of a strategy that Buffett started years ago. Abel is executing it, and doing so decisively. Now, the 10 million home shortage explained simply. This is the foundation of why this deal makes sense. Economists estimate the United States is short approximately 10 million homes. 10 million. That shortage built up over a decade and a half following the 2008 financial crisis. After the housing crash, the builders dramatically reduced construction. They did not want to repeat the overbuilding of the mid-2000s. Meanwhile, the U.S. population kept growing. Millennials entered their 30s and 40s and started forming households, demanding homes of their own, but the supply was not there. Home prices rose dramatically as demand outstripped supply. Mortgage rates then spiked sharply in 2022 and 2023 as the Federal Reserve fought inflation. That made the affordability problem even worse. Existing homeowners with 3% mortgages refused to sell and trade into 6 or 7% loans that locked up inventory further. The result, a housing market where supply is critically short. Affordability is near historic lows. New construction is the only real solution to this shortage. And Taylor Morrison, with 350 communities, is perfectly positioned to provide that solution.
Now, why is Berkshire buying right now? This is the most important question. Berkshire is not buying at the bottom of a boom. Housing starts actually fell 2.8% in April 2026. Mortgage rates are still elevated. Affordability is still strained. So why is Berkshire committing $6.8 billion now? Because Berkshire always buys before the recovery, not after it. The company has a 100-year time horizon. They are not trying to time the quarter or the year. They believe that 10 million home shortage will eventually be addressed. That demand from younger Americans for home ownership is structural and durable, not temporary. That over a 5 to 10-year horizon, the housing market will recover and grow significantly. And they want the best-in-class builder in place before that recovery fully arrives. Taylor Morrison CEO Sheryl Palmer said it perfectly. Home building runs in 5, 7, and 10-year cycles. Berkshire thinks in 7, 10, and longer cycles. That alignment is rare, and that is why the deal makes perfect sense. Now, what does this mean for your home value? Here's the honest answer for homeowners and buyers. When the world's most respected investor commits $6.8 billion, it is a strong signal that smart long-term money sees value. Not necessarily that prices are about to surge this month, but that over the next 3 to 7 years, the housing market is expected to be significantly stronger. For current homeowners, your home's long-term value is supported by the same structural shortage that makes Taylor Morrison valuable. 10 million fewer homes than needed is 10 million reasons for prices to stay elevated over time. For aspiring buyers, this deal does not mean buying gets easier immediately. Mortgage rates are still elevated, prices are still high. But new construction is the most likely path to eventually improving supply and easing prices. The more builders like Taylor Morrison build, the more that shortage shrinks. And the more the shortage shrinks, the more sustainable home prices become for everyone. Now I want to hear from you. Do you own a home right now? Or are you trying to buy one and struggling with affordability? Comment below. I reply to every single one. Subscribe for U.S. business news every week in simple language. See you next video.